Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our gold versus platinum, gold and platinum above show match. I'm Lol Meowing Cat, and I'm here with Xline, and we are casting Rip Acvius versus ZP Fan Club. Xline, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I am moderately okay, as always. As we are getting right into pick and ban, already seeing the Lulu and Alawi band out. Alawi ban a little bit interesting, maybe. I don't know the player's champion pool specifically, but a bit of
Yeah,
a
I was looking that up to see if anybody was an Alawi main, as that's certainly a curious ban. The Zac ban definitely a little bit more meta, as he's definitely overtuned right now. So that
yeah,
one makes a lot more sense.
yeah. He's disgusting. I don't want to see him. Worth mentioning, Caitlyn hasn't been banned out yet, as Thresh and Lee Sin are banned out.
Lee Sin is definitely a target ban. It's Sabin, who plays a lot of Lee Sin.
I
So
do
that
recall
makes a lot of
seeing
sense.
that. Yes. But yeah, Caitlyn left up. It's a very strong champion. She is matched a little bit by the Jin, who is available as well. But
I do know that Habibi Poppy is a Jin main, so that may be something that they're taking into consideration. And there's the first pick, Caitlyn, as you predicted.
yeah. So even though Jin is, kind of able to somewhat match Caitlyn in power, Caitlyn is still definitely much stronger than him. It's kind of like S tier and then A tier and then below that, right? So you have the Caitlyn and then you have the Jin and then you have every other ADC. I do think that kind of giving it away, you really have to get something strong. And Kassadin being picked up, a very strong mid laner, been surging it up in popularity recently. And with the DFT and kind of Q spam that he has, just a lot of obnoxiousness in that pick.
Yeah, I certainly agree. I wonder if they're going to try to take a strong pre-6 mid laner to try to punish that Cassidy pick, because if he has a weakness, it's certainly his early game when you can push him in and kind of roam towards those other lanes.
Yeah, definitely. Very mid to late game, but that Elise is going to help him out throughout that early game, because that is the strongest early game jungler right now, pretty much uncontested in that. And with Lee Sin banned out, there isn't much that could really battle that Elise early on. And not picking up the jungle here, actually going for a mid lane pick blind, or not blind, sorry. Just taking mid lane and support means that their junglers are going to be banned away.
Yeah, the Elise pick makes a lot of sense, as I know Sabin plays a lot of Elise when he doesn't play Lee Sin. He's definitely a jungler that really enjoys putting down that early pressure. So interesting that we see the Jin pick here before the second round of bans, considering the AD was already chosen for the
Well,
opposing team.
the Jin probably would have been banned in second banning phase.
Oh yeah, I guess that's fair.
Yeah, so I think the Jin pick there was actually really smart, as you mentioned that Habibi Poppy is a Jin main, correct? So
That's correct.
it would probably have been banned out in the second phase. Now, we're likely going to see Rip Acvius banning out supports, as the support for ZP Fan Club has not been banned, or picked up yet, but ZP Fan Club is going to be able to ban away supports, which arguably, or jungles, and neither team has been banning what has been picked by the other team yet. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that.
Going after Bricken's Riven here. I've played against that before. It's definitely a terror, so I guess they just want to make sure he doesn't have access to a champ that he's pretty comfortable on.
Yeah, and with that, Gragas is also banned, so a lot of top lane bans, which is very strange because neither team has picked their top laners yet. Right now, ZP Fan Club could be banning out, parental advisory. He is the jungler.
I think that Gragas ban actually is targeted at parental advisory, because he does play a fair amount of Gragas. And then Nunu as the final ban. That's interesting that they're banning out the Nunu.
Yeah, because Elise is already banned. Why ban Nunu?
I guess they're really afraid of Nunu support, which really wouldn't even be that good with Jin.
Yeah, it's...
So that doesn't make any sense to me.
Honestly,
that ban's pretty questionable.
Yeah, pick bans this game are looking a little bit suboptimal, to say the least. I think that's the nicest way I could put it. Karma being picked up, so Karma into Braum, that's... obviously they have a Caitlyn, so Caitlyn's still going to be able to, do Caitlyn things in that lane. But they don't have any real front line. They didn't, pick any other tanky support that was available. The Tom Kench is up.
I think Bricken generally tends to play more aggressive top laners as well, so
So yeah,
I wouldn't expect him to be picking a tank in the top lane.
yeah, and that's really hindering, their top laner's champion pool. Um, Kennen is picked up. This is 7.13, so the nerfs did go through. Well, the changes went through. AP Kennen got buffs, while AD Kennen got hurt very much so. I would expect it to have been an AD Kennen looking at this pick ban, as there's only one AD besides, if Kennen doesn't build AD, there's only one AD, so they really do need another source of physical damage.
On the other hand, if it is AP Kennen, their team fight is super strong. AD Kennen not quite as strong as a team fighter. I mean, he still obviously can team fight, but I think he's generally a little bit better in split pushing. But they have a really strong team fight already with Braum, Ivern, and Caitlyn, so it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, and I want to say it looks like the mid game is gonna be just loaded down by ZP Fan Club, as they have Renekton, Kassadin, Elise, Jhin, and Karma. That's all for the early game. They get completely outscaled by the
Yep.
opposing team.
Yeah, it looks like CP Fan Club is going to look to try to get some picks, end the game early if possible. As we mentioned, the team fighting for Rip Acvius is just significantly better, especially the longer the game goes. Kassadin does offer some scaling for the late game, but I don't know if that's really going to be enough.
Yeah. So while the game is just starting up, we will have the 3-minute spectator delay. We will have to wait through that. I want to see what this Kennen is. I can shortly confirm whether that is an AD or an AP Kennen. It looks like an AP Kennen, actually. Okay. So, the Kennen is locked in as AP. He's basically, 100% like going to go AP. He's taking Thunderlords with ability power runes. I want to make note that Kennen did take meditation in his masteries, which gives him percent missing mana regen.
Right.
The only problem with that, you wanna go for this one?
Well, it's because Kennen uses energy, so probably should have taken Assassin there. Maybe didn't look closely enough at the page. It needs the stock page. So
Yeah.
also interesting, as you mentioned, he was using AP runes. Even AP can do take AD runes just for that lane dominance, especially against like a lane boy like Renekton. But I haven't played with or against much Kennen on this patch, so I'm not really sure if that's still viable. But I know previously that was something that AP Kennens did.
Yeah, and I mean, so we have the AP Kennen locked in. The LeBlanc went for the Ignite, which is very aggressive. Most LeBlancs tend to go for that? I see a lot of Teleport is this common
Yeah, I think teleport's the
summoner.
most common, but I can definitely see wanting to go for Ignite to try to get that early kill pressure on the Kassadin that we talked about early, especially with Ivern, who's
Yeah, but if he's
pretty
taking
strong.
Teleport, so she can't really match him if he's going to a side lane or something.
True, that is
So
definitely true, but she may be just trying to get the kill pressure early and then maybe try to roam the other lane. ZP Fan Club, on the other hand, as we mentioned, really wanting to try to get those picks with the Elise Cocoon, Karma Snare, Caston being able to just stick to somebody really well post 6. So it'll be really interesting to see how the mid game plays out.
yeah, and so with that, I think we're gonna go to a short break while we load into game 2. So don't go anywhere, guys. Sit back, and we will be in game shortly. It looks like we are in a pause. There we go. It's finally up on stream.
Yeah, we had
Welcome.
a couple bunk splats there.
Yeah. Um, Immediate pause. Love how we start off our show matches here at Learning Fives. Of course, having the finals, the higher bracket as well. So looks like teams are getting back in. Volume seems like it is very quiet, if not off altogether. That is fixed. Okay. So, pause. Hooray. Hype. Exactly what I like to see.
Sometimes the client doesn't want to cooperate.
Yeah.
I think we are good to go now.
Okay, so welcome back, guys, from that nice little pause. Not the 5-minute pause we had last time I casted. This is the show match for gold and above between Rip Acvius and the ZP fan club. From Rip Acvius, we have Monster in the top lane, Parental Advisory in the jungle, Zeta in the mid lane, Alpha as fuck, it's a PH by the way, in AD carry, and type 2 diabetes as support. And on the red side, we have ZP fan club with a level 1 invade happening, so we won't even be able to mention all the players, as Sabin is getting caught out, and that will be a first blood instantly.
Did not flash the root collar from Ivern, and if you've got 5 people there and you get a level...
Yeah, I mean, not respecting that Braum as well. Braum has one of the scariest level 1s in the game probably, because of his ability to spread stuns through his passive. So, I mean, yeah, that really should have been expected almost, because they have 2 early game CCs, right?
Yeah, I think they probably did not expect the invade on the top side, since the most common invade is of course on the bottom side. But definitely something that Rip Acvius was able to take advantage of. And so now LeBlanc gets to start with an extra Doran's ring in lane, so that is not going to be fun for Kassadin, as we mentioned. He's already a weak pre-6 laner. LeBlanc should have a pretty big advantage there.
Yeah. Level 1s look fairly standard from both sides. It looks like Ivern will not be able to steal any of the buffs from the Elise. So Sabin's jungle will be safe throughout this early game, it looks like. Although...
looks like he's going for it.
It might, yeah. Might not be, as Sabin's really low from those Raptors. Oh, he's not going to be able to get them, will he? Oh no, this is...
He's going to force him off and just take this red buff for free, and... that is really unfortunate, because Sabin doesn't even hit level 2 off the Raptors, which is the reason you started the Raptor camp.
Yeah, and was that maybe a bad a choice to take the Raptors? Maybe he should have gone straight for the buff? What do you think?
I think against Ivern, typically you want to just try to go buff to buff, or either take... If you know he's going to steal your buff, you just vertical jungle, and take, like, if she started at her blue, she could then go invade and take his red. And potentially even go take like his Raptors and get more camps out of it than Ivern does. Because the Ivern just takes your buff and leaves, and you take 2 camps, and you're up a camp on it.
Yeah, well, with that, it looks like it will be smooth sailing for Sabin. He has the chance to take the red buff, as they know Ivern is still topside, so after clearing that wolf camp, it's going to be very important to see what Sabin does. He does ping on his way into the enemy jungle, so it looks like it's going to be a buff trade happening.
Yep. His bot lane is definitely pushed up enough with enough lane priority, but it is safe for him to invade here. I don't think LeBlanc is going to just venture down to try to contest that alone. So I don't know if that's necessarily the best use of Ivern's time there, showing top for a root caller that has a pretty low chance of actually doing anything, but in the end, it could be worse. It's, like you said, it's still just a 2-for-2 buff trade.
Yeah, a lot of time wasted. I don't know if it's wasted, but Parental Advisor gave away his position top lane a few times and kind of only got Krugs for it, really. So, ooh, a lot of action in the mid lane, and Sabin coming to maybe clean it up. Zeta flashing, not getting hit by the W from Elise, and very low. Looks like he will make it out alive. That's not actually bad for Zeta. I mean, 2 flashes blown for 1. Yes, Zeta did use Ignite and didn't get the kill on Bonsai, but...
that is a very vulnerable Kassadin right now, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
So, you could probably say worth.
He does
I
have
would say
teleport. He's shoving out lane, but it doesn't look like LB's actually going to miss that much unless she just sits in base like she is right now. I don't think that's a good time to wait for items, buddy. I think you should run, Zeta.
Yeah, he's
Run
waiting
for the wave.
refillable.
Yeah, and
This is the contrast to LCK, where you see stuff like Pawn ghosting back to mid lane to try to get the creeps in time.
yeah, and I mean right now Zeta is losing some experience in the mid lane. He's already lost 2 minions as well as the cannon. He got the XP for the cannon though, so that's actually a fairly important detail.
Yeah,
He's not going to be
too because Cannon's going to soak a bunch of those tower shots. If there's no cannon there, then it's just going to clean up multiple creeps.
Yeah, he lost 2 melees before the cannon. One died to the tower and then one died to his minions. So he didn't lose too many, but definitely not. He waited for a refill pot. Now I don't know about that. He could have just bought 2 health pots and run back, or a health pot and a pink ward.
Yeah, I would agree on that. But we do see Elise taking the advantage of that opportunity without the mid pressure to counter jungle on the Raptors, as well as get some vision with the scuttle and get that pink ward down in the river. So lots of priority on the bottom side so far for Elise.
Yeah.
It looks like she's trying to do a return gank on mid to take advantage of LeBlanc not having flash.
Yeah. Sitting in the bush. Looks like she's finally coming out. Sabin flanking behind Zeta. Needs to wait for that WW loan. Zeta does dodge it, the cocoon, with his, oh god, I can't even remember the name of it. LeBlanc W. Distortion. That's it.
Just
yeah, so properly dodges, but
then did not properly anticipate the dodge back. So well played there by LeBlanc. Could have easily been a kill.
Yeah, Sabin now in his jungle, very low, almost getting executed by the Raptors.
Those Raptors have been a source of frustration for him this game.
Yeah, does he maybe not have the right runes and masteries? He took Machete, which I don't know if it's standard for, but Zeta getting poked out by Bonsai. Bonsai does not have the flash, and Sabin don't.
Is never lucky. In terms of like Machete versus Talisman, I think it probably depends on setup. I know a lot of Elises run like an APAS page, at which point the Machete gives a lot better system.
Is it better? Because I know that is the standard page for Elise. I don't know if that's still better though. Because Elise W does help get the AoE, as Parental Advisor is just walking into the bot lane, maybe getting a gank off. 3 stacks of that Braum passive down already. 4. But Parental Advisor going down to the Karma auto attack. Athena picking up the first kill there. Habibi Poppy trying to get a kill of his own. Teleport coming out from Monster. Counter teleport from Bricken. Now Monster's in here. Use this to Slicing Maelstrom. Does get poked out. And that was actually teleport from Bonsai. He's now trying to chase down Monster. Habibi Poppy, no mana. Not able to use that Jin W. Chasing down onto Monster. Alpha as fuck, really low as well. But no more kills will be had. And that is fuck with a PH. So it is okay.
That was pretty hypey for an early gank there.
Only 2 kills.
Got really low and eventually did get. Good job to speed up and get her and Jin away from just immediately dying to the combination of CC from the Brahmini Ivan, and then after the TPs came in, able to trade kill there.
Look at where Sabin is right now. He's in the top lane. He knows that Kennon's walking up there. It's weird positioning, but
he did get some deep vision down.
Yeah, nice wards there.
The blue side. So for those of you watching at home, thinking about like objectives and things like that, obviously you want to take objectives out. Deep vision does count as an objective.
Yeah.
So it's something to keep in mind, especially on a jungler like Ivern that is relatively squishy that you can maybe take advantage of if you know where he's at.
Now, you said those of you watching at home. Now, what if they're watching at, like, school or at a park? I mean, Sunday. Maybe they have a Sunday school. I don't know. But what if they're watching somewhere else other than home? Then what?
I mean, more props to them. I mean, watching it Sunday
the dedication,
school, like,
right?
Yeah, exactly.
all right. I can see it. You guys are seeing the bug that is occurring. There is a spectator bug where there is freezing every now and then. It's Riot side. We can't do anything about it. It's been happening for 2 sessions already. We speed up when that happens, as Monster is face-checking a bush with Sabin in it. Bricken flashing the wall, stunning up the cannon, and picking up the kill on Monster. Really nice gank from Sabin there. Really great patience with that pink ward. Monster got a little bit greedy, as there's some skirmishing in the mid lane. Just gonna be some damage though. No kills coming out.
Yeah, face checking an Elise, especially with a Renekton behind you, or behind her, not going to work out very well for you. I definitely understand the desire to get a ward down to try to protect yourself from those ganks. So I'm not necessarily blaming Monster for the face check there, but that does certainly feel pretty bad when that happens because there's really not much you can do about it.
Yeah.
Looks like Ivern getting some counter jungle on Elise's blue. I wonder if LeBlanc's going to try to go for the candy on the floor to try to get that blue buff. Could be a little risky.
Well, doing what? Oh gosh, there's a teleport in the bot lane as Bricken steps onto a trap. Type 2 Diabetes is getting CC'd heavily. Bricken picking up that kill. Slice and dice, dicing some more as Alpha gets poked out. Bricken dropping the I know it, Dominus, right? Is that it?
Yes.
It is Dominus. I am correct.
Yes.
Okay. But nothing really coming from that, so
Well, they do get the Braum kill.
well, yeah, but the Dominus is a little excessive.
Yeah, sure.
Zeta getting poked out. Bonsai with the Kassadin. He did take Deathfire Touch, which is the proper mastery to take on Kassadin now. And what Kassadin does is he basically just Q spams his opponent out of lane. And that it's working. I mean, Zeta's out of lane.
Yeah, we kind of mentioned that Kassadin had a little bit of a pre-6 weakness. Well, he's level 9 right now, and he's up 12 CS right now. So clearly Bonsai has managed the lane well enough to not have that weakness come back to haunt them. So
Yeah. It does look like Zeta's back wasn't too bad, as he will pick up a lot of these minions that were shoved under the tower. Closing the gap a little bit, still 11 CS, as it was before. Everything kind of coming to a a standstill at the moment. The CS is fairly even between most players. There is a lead from 2 players on the side of ZP Fan Club, as Habibi Poppy does have a CS lead. That's more notable, actually, against Alpha as fuck, than the mid lane lead, really.
Jin's definitely a strong laner, so even though Kate is somebody who's typically seen as a lane bully, that's not super surprising, especially considering you know, some of the TP plays and the TP gank that he got from both his solo laners. That he's got a little bit of a lead there. There's been a lot of pressure on Alpha and Type 2 Diabetes in the bottom lane.
Yeah. Now, I want to mention something. So, Braum took Ignite, which Braum is kind of like, it's, you know, Braum is kind of one of those champions where it's not like you always take this, you always take that. You have to kind of figure that out. If you look at the team he's against a Kassadin and a Jhin, who are both really good exhaust targets, especially that Kassadin, because late game, you know, the Kassadin goes in, he exhausts him, and now the Kassadin can't assassinate your teammates. I feel like it might, like, early game, if he can't get anything done with this Ignite, wouldn't it almost always be exhaust as a better option here?
Yeah, I think exhaust probably would be better. I can't even really think of a great option for the Grievous wounds from the Ignite.
Maybe like the Karma when she gets like Athene's has some healing.
Or like Ardent's, or yeah.
Ardent doesn't even really work that well with Jhin though, because you know,
right.
Jhin has the yeah. Also, so yeah, speaking of Ardent, great item. It's good on Karma, but she really needs her other items first. So Karma can't really get it until later on, until at least second or third item. And I mean, there are some variations where she can go Ardent first item, maybe like Ardent Athene's Redemption or Ardent Redemption Athene's, something like that.
Very similar itemization to what Ivern likes to go for. If we see some action around the bottom lane here.
There's some more in the mid lane as well.
Although he's going towards mid.
Yeah, in the mid lane though, Parental Advisory is sitting right in the bushes. Bonsai definitely has his ultimate though, and has flash. This Kassadin is not an easy gank target anymore. It's not pre-6. As in the bot lane, Sabin goes in here. The Jhin W not connecting, as well as the Elise Kenku not connecting. Flank TP by Monster. Gets cancelled by Bricken. So that Slicing Maelstrom will not be there. Ivern does come with Daisy.
Daisy?
He's getting blown up though. And Bonsai is right on the brink, or backside, ready to clean up some kills. Gets 1, gets 2. Will it be a triple kill for Bonsai? And it will be. Triple kill going over to Bonsai. Now chasing onto Zeta. Habibi Poppy getting a little bit low. Although it looks like he will
The
not be
quadra?
at risk of dying, as Bonsai is coming to get that quadra kill. Will it be an official quadra? Just in the, oh, Sabin takes a kill. Dirty Sabin.
Stealing the quadra.
Come on.
That was kind of a roller coaster of a fight there. So Braum had a really good disengage with his arm. Ivern coming, and that headshot. There was definitely a chance to kind of clean up there. But then Bonsai comes in and turns it into a 4v3. The teleport from the top lane gets canceled, and yeah, Kassadin, that was unpunished early, is starting to pop off right now.
Yeah, and that will be the first brick tower, not blood, as towers don't bleed. They have bricks. They still do have tears. They have feelings too, but still are made of brick. So that will be going over to ZP Fan Club, which has a pretty dominant lead already of 3.5k gold at the 15-minute mark. And I mean, so everything, it looks pretty standard on their side. Jhin going for the Infinity Edge first, which is completely normal. I mean, there's different build paths for Jhin now. A lot of different optional paths to take, depending on what you want to do. I like what he's doing. I like that people are... Oh, no, I don't like Alpha as fuck right here, as Bonsai is chasing him down. Bricken comes in too to help, but Alpha as fuck does disengage it with the flash.
So I do note that LeBlanc looks like she's going for the Gunblade build that is very popular on LeBlanc. So it's possible that she, when she gets that, might be a split push threat. I just don't know if she's going to be able to match the Kassadin in a 1v1.
Yeah, especially without the TP.
Right.
And speaking of TP, look at where the bot lane is from ZP Fan Club. They're positioned in a way to siege down a second tower, and they get it. And they're going for that Rift Herald. They don't need to be in bot lane anymore because there's no more tower down there. So they force this rotation. They force the top tower down. Rip Acvius does not match it in time. And now they're setting up for a Rift Herald even. They're getting vision control right now.
With Alpha getting low from that play around Bonsai and Bricken, just not able to respond in time to the pressure of the top lane. In the top lane from ZP's bottom lane. So really good rotation from them. It looks like instead of going for the Rift Herald, they're actually just grouping up to this mid tower. We may see the Rift Herald afterwards.
Yeah. Mid tower already down to half HP. The team of Rip Acvius is grouped up here though. They do have all their ultimates available. And Monster not having his teleport though means Bricken has the ability to join his team, but not this Kennen, who wants to really get in there with that slicing Maelstrom. So.
Yeah, with an AP cannon, you certainly are looking to try to get a team fight rather than just split all day against the Renekton, because right now this Renekton does have a little bit of a lead on that cannon. And it looks like they're going for the dragon here.
Yeah, and I want to say, I really like the itemization from the Renekton going for those Merc Treads against all the CC and AP damage. I really like the Merc Treads there. Mid lane tower being taken out. Now it looks like there's going to be an engage. Athena getting taken out by the Glacial Fisher. Caitlyn securing that kill. Now there might be a counter siege actually in the mid lane.
That's probably worth if ZP Fan Club can hold the mid lane here. Just because getting down that mid tier 1 opens up so much of the map, especially for, like we mentioned, they really want to get those picks and play as a kind of a pick comp. But as you mentioned, they are counter sieging the mid.
Bricken has teleport available. He could TP in here. It looks like he's just going to concede it though. And it will go down. So first tower of the game going over to Rip Acvius. And that's a little bit of a surprising change of events. As Zeta comes in for Habibi Poppy, going for the double chain. Was that the double chain? It was, right? Yeah, as Athena takes a lot of damage from just Q auto.
Alpha getting bloodthirsty there, but rebuffed by the Jhin.
Yeah. Side lanes are shoved out though, so that will need a response soon. Bonsai looking to group in here, and the curtain call coming out, so there is an engage happening. Daisy is summoned, but that might not be enough as Bonsai is going straight in for Alpha as fuck. Parental advisory really low. Bonsai still having that ultimate, being able to chase down, uses the Q, fade away. Kobe gets the kill.
And this is the power of the scaling Kassadin. That really good initiation from the Jhin just saying, hey, I'm going to open up with this curtain call. You guys are going to start running, and this Cassidy's going to chase you down and murder you. And then immediately rotating to get this tier 2.
Yeah, and this is already a 3-turret lead again. And this is plus an extra couple kills, so they have 3 times the kills. They have an extra 3 turrets. They're going to get the Rift Herald here.
Look at the vision control
Although,
around the blue side jungle leading towards Rift Herald / Baron Pit. This is totally blind for Rip Acvius, so they just can't even begin to think about going over there to face check, try to stop our Rift Herald.
Yeah, and just in the nick of time, as Baron would be spawning soon, would have devoured up that Herald, so just in time. An extra 15 seconds, they wouldn't have gotten that. And with that, I mean, that opens up a lot of options. They have the teleport from Birkin. Bonsai does not have his. But they could definitely, I'd say, send the Renekton bot lane here. Then group
I
up.
think a 4-1 with your teleport in bottom and having your 4 playing around Nasher.
Yeah, I think mid lane is a lane where they'd want to go to, but they definitely need top shoved out as well. So yeah, keep that mid priority. Shove in for that mid T2 tower. And then, yes, execute an 0-4-1 with top shoving out, of course. They could even, after Bonsai has TP, he could go into the top lane, but since he doesn't right now, they just need to keep it shoved and him grouped. Bonsai going for a little bit of damage, but type 2 diabetes taking none of it.
A 1-3-1 split push would be interesting. It's not something you see very often, especially if you play a lot of solo queue, because it's really hard to organize and coordinate in solo queue, but if there is an environment in which you'd see it, full organized 5-man team would certainly be the best place. I know we've got 3 members from ZP Attack in the bottom lane here. So I guess they do not agree with our macro assessment of how to play the map right now, but they are going to pop that Rift Herald and probably take this tier 2.
Oh. Athena is okay here, right? Well, Alpha's right there. Get that auto. Ooh. Actually, probably would have been... Alpha probably would have died there if he went for that kill. As... There's some really weird lane assignments coming out.
Yeah, it looks like they're just using the Rift Herald to get like about 60% on this bottom tier 2, and I guess they're going to try to siege it.
Yeah, but Baron's up on the top side. They could be grouped up in the mid lane and be doing this mid.
I guess their thought is if they're not going to force the Baron, they don't really necessarily have to worry about Rip Acvius rushing the Baron. They don't have a lot of pressure in that regard. So potentially they want to get the pressure on the bottom side before then trying to play around Nasher. That would be the only thing I could pick up in that regard.
Yeah. Now, Athena is going for the Ardent, which seems a bit weird because that's more of a scaling item than anything. I mean, doesn't Redemption seem more like an early power spike than Ardent? Maybe not, but Ardent's more aggressive, I guess. And I guess if they're trying to push the lead and maybe close out the game, it might be a better choice even. So
I like Ardent a lot better when you have somebody who scales with attack speed, unlike
Jin does scale okay with it, but not. Yeah, he doesn't utilize the on hit well.
Somebody who uses the on hit effect with their attack speed.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe because Cassidy and Renekton are using a fair amount of autos, that's kind of the idea there. But I agree, Redemption probably would be better here. But I don't think Athene's is a bad item by any means.
You know, if Jin ever gets nerfed like really badly and they're trying to buff him, I'd really like to see him have like every auto apply twice the on hits. I feel like that would make it like so much more useful for him to actually have on hit on anything.
That could potentially be too powerful, but
well, what is he really? Is there anything he could really build that would give him? I guess it would charge. No, yeah, okay, no, that would be disgusting because he could charge static shiv in like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Never mind. That's broken.
Well, there's a lot of on-hit stuff you don't think about until like you start going through all the items.
Yeah, like static shiv and like the energized attacks basically would charge super fast. So.
Alright, so we've got some vision coming down from Rip Acvius popping off the plants around Dragon. ZP Fan Club did of course get the scuttle around that, so looks like we're gonna have kind of a dance around mid lane and Dragon Pit here.
Yeah, it seems really weird that the ZP Fan Club is playing so heavily around the bot lane. I mean, I get that they want to take out that turret, but mid lane is also really low. You could send the the Renekton into bot lane, or even the Kassadin now that you have the teleport. Execute a 1-3-1 or a 4-1 or 0-4-1 or whatever kind of variation you want.
Yeah,
Instead they're running a
Playing around the bottom
1-1-3.
lane,
Yeah.
it kind of compressed the map into just like the bottom and mid for the most part, and didn't let them take advantage of the lead that they had. So
And they're doing it again, and this is stalling the game
letting
out.
back to scale. Yeah, it's letting them stall out and scale with that Caitlyn.
Yeah, I mean they might get this Cloud Drake, but that's just a Cloud Drake. I mean, you could be pressuring Baron right now. So I think it is a misexecution with the laning assignments, running a 1-1-3 compared to a 1-3-1 or an 0-4-1 or whatever kind of variation they want to run, where they have the bulk of their players on the mid top side, so they can pressure that Baron. That mid lane tower is almost dead though, and Kassadin does secure it. The Air Drake is secured, but Bonsai kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. The Root Caller does connect as well. CC chaining really well onto Bonsai, and he might go down here really low, ticking down to Ignite, and the Cannon Q will secure that kill.
That's a big shutdown.
Yeah, that Kassadin was fed. It was a juicy kill, and that's a giant swing of gold. They did get that mid tower for it, but...
Well, he died because he rift walked into the mid tower just to say, I'm taking this by myself, as opposed
yeah,
to
and...
teams, so...
Now they're just kind of stalling this out. Gold is going over to the enemy team. You got a Cloud Drake for that. Is that really what you want?
Yeah, the Cannon is only 300 gold behind the Renekton now, so he's basically caught up after that shutdown gold and getting some farm on him. Jungle's about even. Mid lane is still about a 2,000 gold difference, and it's about a 1,000 gold difference on the 80 carries. So.
Yeah, but that definitely is bringing this game to a slow down, and this gold difference, while it might be maintained, the percentage difference is going to be lowering.
Yep.
As if you go, 10,000 to 2,000, 10,000 to 20,000, obviously that's, double the amount. While if you go 20,000 to 30,000, it's only, half the amount extra, so it's a big difference.
I agree.
And that's kind of what's happening right now. They're kind of slowly catching up. LeBlanc was having a really rough early game as Braum picks up the blue buff. I don't think that's going to make it any easier for Zeta.
Yeah, we talked about the fact that with the kind of pick comp that ZP Attack had, they really want to try to end this in the mid game. And even though Kassadin does scale, you're kind of playing with fire with giving this Caitlyn, this AP Cannon, more time to farm up.
They did send Bricken into the bot lane finally. So they're executing a 4-1-1, which is perfectly fine. They'd rather have their team in the top lane compared to the mid lane. I think mid priority might be a little more important than top priority, but it's not nearly a bad call. They do have good vision set up.
The other thing is, I don't know if they really have the ability, fan club that is, to play around Baron and just kind of do a dance there. Earlier, when
They did,
had
yeah.
that big lead and they had all of that vision control right around the time they took the Rift Herald, I think they really could have just forced Rip Acvius to kind of face check them around the Baron and potentially just wipe them in a team fight there. I don't know if they can do that anymore, even if they do a 4-1. So, a little bit of a missed opportunity in that regard.
Yeah. And so, kind of stalling this game out.
It's
Still,
like Kassadin is waiting down here for a pick to see if anybody answers the Renekton, or are they just going to dive this Cannon?
yeah, and these players both have TP, so it would be a very risky call for Rip Acvius to kind of say, we're doing this Baron. This Kassadin can actually go into the bot side without having to worry about the Baron, as he does have teleport. So this double TP is going to have that real big advantage in that they can pressure the bot lane really heavily, as Zeta is jumping away. Oh, Bonsai.
Want that? Oh, okay. I was going to say, that's a little aggressive if he wants to go for...
Yeah, he can use the rank 1 part of his ulti constantly, but Bonsai getting CC chained so hard, not getting the final part of it to get the stun. Glacial Fissure does connect, and the stun times out before Zeta can get the auto attack, so Bonsai does not get stunned up. Rift walks away and lives. Actually,
Has to burn his flash.
He did burn his flash there, yeah, but Kassadin will be able to recall, come back safely. And Zeta burned flash. as well to try to get that kill there. So
We were just talking about Bonsai slowing his roll, and then he said, nope, going back to being hyphy. And luckily, Kassadin obviously has the ability to Rift Walk away as well as Plat. So.
oh, curtain call coming out. Parental Advisor popping the locket and the redemption. A lot of sustain coming out, and now Sabin getting stunned up. Lots of shielding coming out as well on his side from the locket and the karma, but not enough to keep him alive as Monster does kill him, but taken out in response. So 1-1 so far. Alpha as fuck flashing out from the Jinru as Bricken is in there. Bronzeye getting a lot of damage down. Type 3 diabetes falls, and that is an ace. Everyone just died. Triple kill to Habibi Poppy.
You know, there was a second there where it looked like Rip Acvius might actually be able to win that team fight. As we mentioned, they do have a better team fight for some this scale. But the cannon kind of goes off into the river with Bricken on the backside, distracting the team. And so Kennen he uses all that CC without his team to really capitalize on it, and kind of gets taken down alone. And then the Renekton in the backline just helps the rest of the team clean that up. So really unfortunate fight for Rip Acvius there, but they were pretty close, I think, to winning that.
Yeah, and with that, Baron is secured. There is a dragon coming up in 45 seconds. That will be another air drake. 3 in a row, baby. So
rotations. Freak is excited right now.
I mean,
he's super hyped.
They've been doing that. Having the double teleport, they have been, executing really good rotations. Now, okay, all right. I think the call here is to go 1 bot lane, 1 mid lane, or 4 mid lane, and keep top lane shoved out if you can from ZP Fan Club.
So they don't have either teleport, so I definitely agree they don't want to do a 1-3-1, but a 4-1 makes sense.
Well, if they put the Renekton into the top lane, he can't come down, as it doesn't even matter, as they're going in without him. Parental Advisor having a lot of shielding, though. Re-engaging onto Sabin, who gets stunned up and taken out. A little aggressive without team to follow up.
Alone to get some deep wards down. A little risky, because they didn't even have a BB Poppy, of course.
Oh, Bonsai looking for a response, though, maybe. Lurking in the shadows. No one walking by, though, so nothing will come of that.
So unfortunately, my boy Sabin kind of throws away his Baron buff there a little bit, but still definitely ZP Fan Club in the driver's seat here with that 8k gold lead and the Baron buff. I think Renekton's recalling, so Kassadin's not going to be able to get a ton done here. Is they're going to be able to stop him because there's not really any lane pressure anywhere else, forcing Rip Acvius to respond.
Yeah, and so it's really how Rip Acvius can hold on while the Baron is available. They got a kill in response, so that's pretty good holding on if you have to, if you ask me. Parental Advisor getting chunked out really hard. Bonsai on with a lot of damage with that Lichbane picked up as well.
And he's just zoning them all away from the dragon because no one wants to face check that. I mean, they know he's in there, so I guess no one wants to go mess with that giant Kassadin.
Yeah, but he is falling off a little bit as he is at a point where he's kind of needing to get more items so he can really deal his damage. It kind of seems like it's like a mountain in a sense, how Kassadin scales, where he has a really weak early, and then he has this like power spike when he gets that level 6, and then a few of his like early items, the Roa and stuff. And then there's this point where he kind of like, he has like a few items, but not all his items, so he really needs to, wait on those. But he's still really strong, and I mean...
He's pretty close to Zanya's, I think. Which, I think once he gets Zanya's, honestly, that 4-item power spike is pretty strong.
It gives him a lot of safety, so he can just kind of dive in Zanya's and then just get out.
He's just using this Lichbane to just solo out these turrets.
Oh.
I don't know that I necessarily agree with that line.
Yeah. That will be the first inhibitor turret taken down. Bonsai already dropped. Bricken kind of 1v3ing right here against the Daisy too. 1v3.5. Sustaining up so much. Trying to escape. Parental Advisor so low, but not taken out.
I don't know that I agree with some of these decisions that VP Fan Club's making in terms of having the Kassadin try to just, face tank the entire team to take the turret solo, and then Renekton following up right after he dies and trying to 1v3 or 1v3.5.
1v3 and a half. Yeah. Daisy's honestly, a lot of people underrate Daisy. because if you leave Daisy, you know, unattended, she can just get so much value constantly knocking people up, right?
Oh
If you,
yeah, I always tell people in solo queue
yeah,
that
focus
I don't actually
Daisy.
win games. Daisy 1v10s. Like she's carrying me too.
No, yeah, Daisy is super strong, and really, like, she's still smiteable, right? The
Yeah,
jungler needs to smite her, and you need to make sure that that
yeah,
Daisy is blown up so that she doesn't continuously CC people up. Because think about the amount of disruption she provides, right? I mean,
yeah.
a lot
Luna's
of
really
people.
strong against Ivern, pretty loaded to consume Daisy as well.
Yeah. And so, inhibitor turret taken down, but we can see already this game is slowing down a lot, and the longer it goes, the more in favor, you know, it goes in towards Rip Acvius.
I will say one thing about having the early game advantage for ZP attack is, of course, the triple air Drake. Obviously, they would prefer like Inferno or Mountain Drakes if it's going to go to the late
Did you
game.
say ZP attack?
Sorry, ZP fan club.
I'm guessing you know him too.
Yeah.
All right, all right.
Sorry, misspoke there.
No, you're
So the
good.
ZP fan club has the triple air Drake, so they're going to be able to rotate pretty aggressively if they want to try to do these 1-3-1s. But so far, it seems like they haven't really been playing towards that win condition with these double teleport solo laners. So I guess we'll see how they decide to play it. It looks like they're doing a 1-3-1 now.
Yeah. Yeah,
But the
and I
wave
mean
clear
they have
from-
2 TPs up, so this is perfectly fine. The next objective is Baron in a minute 30, so they need to make sure they get vision control in the top side. I'm thinking if it's, it probably is best to have Kassadin in lane against the LeBlanc, because LB could put, no, she can't kill Renekton. I'm thinking because
Probably
maybe
not without Grievous ones. I guess she's got the ignite. She
maybe
might be
like
able to.
I'm thinking if they put Bonsai in lane against Monster, you know, he could maybe even bully that Kennen out really hard. But I'm thinking maybe it's too risky to do that.
This is just kind of a standstill here. I'm wondering
Yeah.
if
What
if it
can
is-
they do at this point? Really, they have to wait for Baron and hope that they can take
Right.
it uncontested. Maybe I don't. This is becoming very, very scary for ZP Fan Club, and you can kind of see that they're like trying now, but
Yeah.
it might be a little too late. A little too little, a little too late. There you go.
The wave clear from Rip Acvius is really strong with Caitlyn and LeBlanc and Kennen to a lesser extent, but
Yeah, the Kennen not
it's
having
really hard to
the
siege.
Runons, not providing as much wave clear as the AD counterpart. He kind of needs to walk up to wave clear, you know, run through with the
Right.
the E. It's called, what is it called? Something rush?
Lightning Rush? Lightning
Yeah.
Rush.
Okay. Oh, type 2 diabetes jumping in front, saying stand behind me, team, and absorbing all that damage. Now
Oh,
Monster going in,
Plat.
using the slicing maelstrom, stunning them all up, getting a 3-man ulti, getting 1 kill already. He steps into the trap, and that's a 2nd kill secured. Zeta picking that one up. Oh, there was a trap in that bush. Oh, poor Habibi.
Never lucky.
Oh.
That was a really aggressive engage with the
But
flash ult Zanyas for Monster, but it worked out as they got two for 0. So
Yeah, and that's the jungler and the ADC. It looks like they're gonna go for the Baron now. Monster does have TP, so he can stay bottom lane, and Type 2 picks up that Baron. So, or the blue buff, correction.
Dude,
Baron
Braum
is
with
up.
blue is the theme of this
Sabin
game.
is not down for another 10 seconds. They're going for this Baron. Now,
I think they're just gonna get it. Nope, Bonsai cancels his recall.
they
He
can
might try
take
to
this.
steal.
Monster will have to TP up probably to help contest this. He's running up. Baron down to 5.5k. Redemption coming out to keep them all topped off. And they're all
Too
basically
hard to
full
contest.
HP right now. Now they just need to secure this Baron. It is smited. Baron is secured. And
There's
now
teleport coming
Rip
in from
Acvius going for some kills. Zeta in a 1v1 against Bonsai gets the kill. Zanya's the
Zanyas.
ignite. Or not ignite. There was no ignite. He was flying. Maybe there's a Q. I don't know. Zanya's lives. Zeta's out of there.
Yeah, he's on you just to ensure no DFT.
Oh,
takes him out.
yeah, the DFT was the dot I was seeing. I was like, there's a dot there. What is that? It's Deathfire Touch.
So I guess it looks like Rip Acvius is going to go straight to this Elder Dragon instead of trying to get mid tier 2. They're just going to say, you can't fight us here. And a little bit of a weak dragon considering they haven't taken any previously, but at the very least it denies ZP Fan Club the 6 strong Air Drake triple burn Elder Dragon. So
Yeah. I mean, 6 air drakes is pretty crazy. At that point, you're going to be running like what, 450 movement speed on everyone at least.
gotta go fast. Yeah.
That's the Sonic build. That's like perfect stars aligning. You are now one with the Sonic. Everyone is Sonic. The Cult of the Hedgehog.
New team name, Cult of Hedgehog.
Yeah. Giant minion wave bottom lane as Sabin not really cleaning it up. Kind of just letting it die. Kind of hurts to watch this.
See, what kind of utilization of the Baron that Rip Acvius is going to go with. I think they're probably best off just going with a full 5-man stack because their team fight is so strong. But I could potentially see a 4-1, even though there's no teleport available. Maybe LeBlanc.
I mean, so there's the split pushers from the side of ZP Fan Club. Both have their TP. There's no TP available at all. The Kennen does not have his. So right now, Rip Acvius kind of just needs to really force it quickly before the split pushers get to their inhibs. Because at that point, they're going to start losing towers. Oh, as Zeta is looking for 1v1 with Bonsai again. Round 2. Zanya's already coming out.
Ooh, mistimes the second route.
Yeah. And
unlucky there.
I think Bonsai was safe. He had flash, he had the rift walk, so he was good. As tower is being tanked up by type 2 diabetes and secured. So already, look at this gold lead. There's not much of a lead anymore. It's 3k gold, less than it was before, and it's almost even now. This game is close, and it is now swinging the momentum in favor of Rip Acvius.
Yeah, you gotta feel pretty good if you're Rip Acvius, considering you're able to win team fights when you were farther down in gold earlier in the game before your power spikes. Now that you're starting to see this 4, almost 5 item Caitlyn, well, I guess if you count Boots 6, you know, she's a serious threat right now, and you're starting to scale up with this Kennen. So if you're able to win the fights when you were down even further in gold earlier, you gotta feel pretty good about your ability to win fights going forward.
Yeah, and with that, I mean, there's not really that much ZP Fan Club can do here, except capitalize on a mistake. Except if Bricken is gonna solo kill Monster. The curtain call coming out. Monster getting low, popping the slicing maelstrom, and getting a nice turnaround actually. And it might be ZP Fan Club who are losing members as 2 people taken out. Sabin and Bricken fall. And Monster was just baiting.
On that cannon. Yeah. Well, I don't know that it was an intentional bait,
baiting. He's a masturbator.
The ZP Fan Club definitely went a little too try to get that kill, and they were certainly punished for it. It was a beautiful Braum ultimate again, along with the cannon ult. Just a lot of CC coming down, and they just melted.
Yeah, I want to say that
so they should be 2 turrets in top lane. I think they can get tier 2. Well, they can definitely get tier 1. Depending on...
How's the Baron duration? Baron duration's almost up, so it's gonna time out basically like right after they take that. It's gone now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess they're just gonna do a 2-3 here, I guess, or I guess they're gonna do 4-1. Ivern might get caught by this Bonsai here.
They could send Kennen into the bot lane, except if they can get a pick here. Trap underneath Bonsai. He's gonna get immediately rooted up. CC chained and another kill going over to Monster. Bonsai really overstepping and using the Zon. I think the Zanya's there wasn't good. He could have flashed or rift walked.
He basically Bard ulted himself, and they just were able to get in position, set the down, and just kill him as soon as that came off.
Yeah, and that's enough to take out the middle inhibitor tower as well as the top inner tower.
And there's a huge wave in top that has to be responded.
Yeah, no more Baron buff, so it's a little easier to clear them out, as they will do so with ease. But, oh man, this is getting rough for ZP Fan Club.
Really
as there's a giant slicing maelstrom as well as a glacial fissure. Not a lot of damage coming out though behind it. Monster getting a humongous shield as Type 2 Diabetes jumps in to try to save him, but he will not do that as Monster dies to Bricken. But Bricken will die in response. Gargoyle Stone Plate, not enough to save him. Now Type 2 Diabetes really low, but no minions means no tower.
Okay, I thought they were going to rotate 2 towards...
Bonsai has TP up and just respawn. So you get a TP... Look at that ward at the red buff right there.
Yeah. Yeah,
Bonsai could have TP'd in on that and gotten a kill. Oh, Zeta barely getting away in time. Although, oh, it doesn't look like Alpha's fuck will.
Alpha.
Oh, wait. Is it?
Oh.
Is it? Is it not lucky?
Oh, is that him? That Caitlyn.
That's not lucky. That's lucky AF. That's luck. That's skill, pure and raw skill right there. Alpha as fuck asserting his dominance. I must remind you guys, it is with a PH. Please don't fire me.
Full build Caitlyn. That's a champion right there, boys. That is a real champion.
And that's why this is a banned champion. Look, she had Guardian Angel, and it wasn't even popped there. Like, this champion is so strong.
It's a Khabibi Poppy getting this this pretty large wave in bottom lane. Although that bottom tier 1 that was hanging on for so long did finally go down to that that pretty large wave that was down there. But really, there has been a lot of focus on the bottom lane for with Acvius. So I'm not sure how relevant that is.
Yeah. Bonsai respawning just now after his very rough death.
That's a tilter for sure.
Yeah. Thought he could take out the Caitlyn, gets taken out in response. Not having the Zanya's up either, because he used it in the last fight, which we all know how that Zanya's went. Wasn't the best Zanya's. Zanyai is a plural, I would say.
So we've got Kennen with his ults up again. He doesn't have flash. He has shown a desire to flash ulti this game, so he doesn't have that play available to him. But
Zeta in the top lane pushed in that tower. Actually, it falls.
the
Wow.
push with Wonk with the Gunblade
Yeah,
is
that's some damage.
just strong, clearing waves and putting kill pressure on the opponents. So, and they're just getting chip damage in here on this middle inhibitor, and they're gonna take it. GP fan club's giving it away. I mean, they can't really contest it. I say giving it away. They have to
Here,
give it
take our base.
away. they have to
As
give it to her. I don't think they can
They're now
contest
saying take our Zeta, but the Zanya is baiting them in maybe, slicing Maelstrom Zanya's, but not really enough people hit by that, as it's kind of,
it. There's a good disengage from Karma.
yeah, and a lot of abilities used there. Maybe a possible re-engage here as Bricken is going in, Curtain Call being used by Habibi Poppy, shots going down, but no one's taking any damage, as they actually kill Bricken, and wow, those are some tanky members.
This, barring disaster, this should be game for Rip Active.
They didn't even use their second locket.
They want the Baron. I guess that's probably a safer call. I don't disagree with that.
Now, okay, so Knight's Vow, that's an item, right? Ivern built it. Now, the way it works is you get 12% damage reduction from whoever you give them 12% damage reduction, and you get 12% of their healing. I will talk about this after the Baron, because it's something I want to mention, but Baron is getting very low, and it will be secured by Parental Advisor.
Was getting close enough, I think, to absorb some of that damage when Bonsai went in on. So I think Knight's Vow might have saved her. I'm not sure.
Was he? I don't know.
I think
but
he was standing in the Baron pit, and she was right above red buff when he jumped on her. So
Yeah,
I don't know
well-
if he was within range or not. He was close.
the thing is, so Ivern is melee, right? Normally, but when he's in a bush, he becomes ranged. So is it that when he becomes ranged, he loses the extra 6%? Because the way Knight's Vow works is the effects are halved if you're melee or ranged. So you want to be a melee champion if you're picking this up.
I actually don't know that. And
So like I mean I play Kale top support and I build Knight's Vow. I should know this. I'm pretty sure that's how it works because I'm like
Are you one of those Kale players who plays with the Master Yi?
yeah. I do it in Diamond too. I'm horrible.
You're the worst kind of person.
I'm horrible. I love it. I'm a support main, but then I'm just like might as well play top lane.
No, I play a large amount of Ivern, and that's something you think I would know, but
Yeah,
I'm not
why don't we
entirely
know
sure how
this?
that works.
The Kale top and the Ivern player. We are the people in Learning Fives that should know this. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure that's how it works though. At least for Kale. Because when you use Runons on Kale, it activates
Right.
when you're EA, so
Well,
I assume. Have you ever built
Runons is
Runons on
like-
Ivern?
No, I've never built it on Ivern.
Now, does it work on
Runons is
Ivern?
actually ranged only, so I'm not sure if like something that goes from like a toggle on off is the same as like toggling values. So it looks like this third inhibitor is going to go down here, and with this Baron buff, should be academic to close it out from this point.
Yeah, and so Rip Acvius really stalling this game out and turning it around.
They want the Elder.
Yeah, going towards that Elder. And really, they played this game well. I mean, they're going for this Elder now, and they're just choking out ZP Fan Club. ZP Fan Club is looking for a last-ditch fight. There are minions flooding the base, though. They see that Elder Dragon at 7k, and they leave it. So that's going to be another Elder going over to rip Acvius. And this is such an intense game. But this is kind of what we saw in Pick and Ban. We expected this to happen.
Well, we expected these to be the win conditions for the Vegas team comps. I don't know that we necessarily expected, exactly the.
I mean, I think this is this is like what we expected for Rip Acvius to happen, right?
Yes,
we expected ZP Fan Club to get an early lead, and what would happen is either they extend that lead and they close out the game early, or Rip Acvius scales up and then they turn the game around.
Absolutely.
And they have been turning this game around. Super minions flooding the base everywhere. Baron minions and Elder Dragon gonna go for this last ditch attempt from ZP Fan Club, but already Bricken getting taken out. Everyone is getting chunked out. Another kill going over to Type 2 Diabetes, and now they are looking towards the base as members have fallen, and that will be the game one going over to Rip Acvius from the Gold Plat Finals.
I give a lot of credit to Rip Acvius. They played to their win condition, even though they were down. They recognized their win condition. They needed to stall out the game, farm it up, and scale, and they did. So.
Yeah. And with that, we will be going to game 2. So, and this is a best of 3, guys. So this isn't just, best of 2, we're going to end with a tie. We are getting a winner today. So will we see Rip Acvius take the clean 2-0, or will we see ZP Fan Club tie it up for a game 3? Don't go anywhere, as we will find those answers soon. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Game 2 between ZP Fan Club and Rip Acvius. The teams have switched sides, and Rip Acvius did take Game 1. I'm Lol Meowing Cat, and I am joined here with Eggsline. How are you doing after that first
Doing
game?
great. That first game was really exciting. We got to see both teams kind of leverage their team comps towards their goal. Fortunately, ZP Fan Club not quite able to fully leverage all the way their early game lead, but it was definitely an exciting game.
Yeah, for sure. As the Alawi band coming out for the second game in a row.
Yeah, I think Monster's an Alawi main.
Is
So I
he?
think they just yeah. When I was looking at his OPG, he's got a lot of games played on Alawi. So I guess they probably just decided they didn't want to deal with that.
Okay, understandable. Every other band has been pretty standard so far, as Fiora, a super strong top laner, and Monster was a bit of a monster last game on that cannon. He really kind of turned some of those fights around.
You get to see that target ban on Bonsai's Cassidy after he kind of popped off last game. So
Really? You're thinking they're gonna ban that Cassidon? What?
shocking, I know, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's a good ban. He showed he was very proficient on it, as well as mitigating the standard weaknesses of Cassidy, especially against an Ignite lane. So get a Thresh ban here, which is
Yeah. Well, does Type 2 Diabetes play it? It was banned last game as well. I don't recall which team banned it, though. Yeah, I can't find that. One
yeah, it
team
looks
did
like
ban
Type
it.
2 Diabetes is a Thresh main, so that makes sense. Or at least he's got more games played on Thresh than anyone else by a significant margin. So I would imagine he's a Thresh main.
Yeah, obviously. If
Um,
you play a champion at all, you're a main of that champion. Play one game of
Generally,
Heimerdinger, and you're now a Heimerdinger main.
if that champion
Heisendong?
shows up at the top of your OPGG, then I think it's have to call you a main. Oh, we got this first pick Lulu here.
Yeah, and so this Lulu is probably going to be in the support position, although it could be a flex pick, right? But Lulu isn't really a powerhouse, right? Like, isn't really that much of a powerhouse champion. She's been hurt pretty badly by all the changes going on. She's kind of lowered in popularity a lot. And
It could
there's
be
a
a
lot of
comfort
good
thing
stuff up right now, right? I mean,
if the team
Saban's
is
Lee
a
Sin.
fan. Unlucky. I think advisory. Yeah, Pearl advisory also plays a large amount. It's also his most played champion
But that's
as well.
Saban's
So
best champion, right?
that's true. That is true.
Yeah, that they just gave that away for a Lulu. Lulu.
And we see
Lulu.
Zeta going back to that LeBlanc again.
Yeah.
Nunu.
Okay.
That's not surprising. Saban is pretty good on Nunu as well. Disgusting right now. I don't know if anyone has played with or against Nunu in solo queue, but
It's
not
not
only
fun.
not only was he strong before they changed the Locket item, but now with Lock of the Iron Solari keying off of your bonus health, a lot of Nunus are going like Warmogs, Gargoyle Stoneplate, and Locket, and when you activate the Gargoyle Stoneplate, you have like 7,000 HP, so your Lock of the Iron Solari shield is like more than Vladimir's health bar.
Yeah. And so
So
Vladimir's picked up too, and with that, it pretty much secures that this is a bot lane support Lulu. Now, it's a bit strange that Lulu was prioritized so heavily as Karma is being hovered. Okay, Karma's picked up too. So I think Karma's just like dumpstered. They just dumpstered her. Put her in the trash can, throw her to the side. Her win rate has dropped down to 45% in solo queue, and she's just not nearly as strong as she was before.
we've seen her in both games though, so again, it could just be a situation like we were talking about with Lulu pick. If it's a comfort pick and they like it in the team comps that they're running, because Karma does help a lot of team comps in terms of the speed boost and the ability to rotate and the shields for team fighting. So if it's something they're comfortable with, then I could definitely see them just kind of defaulting to that pick, even if it has kind of gotten some nerfs in the last couple patches.
Yeah. Now, I just want to say that we are starting the second banning phase, and the bans, again, are a bit strange, although make more sense than last time. They're bans to people that are actually potentially going to be picked, as Nunu would not have been picked last game. So,
They banned out Bricken's Riven again because he does play a lot of Riven and he is pretty strong on
yeah.
that.
And he,
Galio's a pretty standard ban, I think, because he's even after the nerfs is still pretty strong. Top laner, mid laner, wherever you want to put him.
yeah.
Um, and I assume it would be a ban against the top lane
Yeah.
after
Now,
the LeBlanc already picked.
with that, the Kog'Maw is picked up, so there's been a lot taken off the table. Now, that was kind of a takeaway pick as well from Habibi Poppy. If he actually, I don't know if Habibi is comfortable on the Kog'Maw, but it definitely would have been really good with the Lulu. Now, Jhin is available and Tristana are available. Tristana has been rising in popularity a lot recently, and she's been favored by a lot of pro players recently as well. And I think Tristana would have been really good here with this comp. I mean, look at it. You've got a Nunu and a Lulu. Think about the kind of protect the carry you can run with a Tristana, who's just dealing tons of damage. She can out damage the Kog'Maw and then just kill that Cog, kill the Void Puppy, kill everything that goes towards her. She can ulti them away. I want a Tristana there, honestly. I like that.
I think they ended up picking the Ashe probably for the utility around the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, because Jhin was up and Habibi Poppy is a Jhin main. I This is the first time I've seen him pass a Jhin when it's available, so I'm thinking they probably prioritize the CC and the engage from the Ashe because they don't have a lot of hard engage outside of that, other than Renekton just running into the middle of the team.
Yeah, and with that, blind picking Renekton means that Monster can counterpick and takes the Gnar. And so I thought it was, like I was thinking, oh, he's picking AD Kennen. He's a little behind in the times, right? The new AD Kennen is Gnar, and he went AP Kennen. I'm like, oh, I'm pleasantly surprised. And now he's taking the new AD Kennen, which is Gnar, and I'm like, oh, I'm even more surprised, and now I'm scared for Bricken.
Yeah, Gnar got some pretty sick buffs to the base damage on his Q, I think it was, in this last patch. So
yeah, it was 20 damage at max rank, I think, as well as an extra 150 range on the Mega Gnar E.
So I want to touch on the Kog'Maw pick here. I think this is not the typical protect the Cog comp that you kind of see. You've got Karma for shielding, obviously, but you don't have Ivern to give the additional shield.
Oh, wait a minute. Sorry, I was a little mistaken. It's an extra 10 damage per level on the Gnar change. So his Q late on max rank went from 125 to 165.
Yeah, from what I remember, it was a very.
It was a big buff. Yes, Gnar is
so.
Gone up a lot, and he was being played before the buff too. I think Gnar is probably one of the best top laners right now, at least in a competitive standpoint, because he's much better in competitive play than solo queue. And I'd consider this, like low elo competitive play. Platinum, these are all platinum players with 2 diamonds sprinkled in there on each side. So
yeah, Gnar is a lot better when you can coordinate the hop into Gnar ulti against a wall with your team and just full on engage on that, especially when you have a Karma to speed the team up. So I think that's really interesting. But again, the Kog'Maw just seems like a very odd fit.
Yeah,
with the rest of the team comp. I'm not sure that I agree with that.
Well, they do have a Karma which can help buff it, right? You get the Ardent on that Karma, so he still gets that Ardent sensor support. Is there any other better supports? I mean, obviously Lulu would have been the go-to support for that. And so it might have just been more of a takeaway pick, if anything. Because if you think about it, if Habibi Poppy did get the Kog'Maw here, that would have been very scary.
If they're gonna do that though, why not just ban Kog'Maw and then pick Twitch instead? Because I would
Twitch would work better here too,
rather than the Kog'Maw. So that's.
I mean, honestly, everything would have worked better here. Varus, Varus would have worked really nice here actually with the hard CC.
Yeah.
They have plenty of damage already. Actually, God, I'm getting moist thinking about that. Okay. With that comment, I think we should go to a quick break as we load into game 2 between ZP Fan Club and RIP Acvius. I can't even. Acvius. It's so weird to say Acvius. RIP Acvius. And as soon as the screen shows up, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I am in game 2 here with Rip Acvius versus ZP Fan Club. You already know the players. You already know the casters. Let's just get right into this game. No pause this time.
So it looks like instead of going for the invade that they went with last game, they're just kind of fanning out. Oh, we got to pause here.
Oh,
Looks like
I
nope,
spoke too soon. No pause, he says. Get right into the game, he says.
Never lucky.
Never ever lucky. I'd say even unlucky. I mean,
true. So we see ZB Fan Club spreading out to try to watch the entrances. We do have a little bit of a stack from Rip Acvius towards the blue side there. I don't know if they're going to go for the invade a little aggressive without your Lee Sin connected, so we'll probably just see them try to either stay as a stack to prevent an invade or fan out to try to get some vision for the potential entrances to the jungle.
Yeah. So level 1 gonna be. Do you have an ETA on this pause time?
Let me see if anyone knows what's going on.
But yeah, everything so far looks fairly standard. The Kog'Maw opting to go for the Doran's Blade is a little bit curious, as he's against a Lulu, who's a very, very poke-heavy support. As well as the Ashe, using the volley, going to be poking him down too. So, very aggressive buy in that Doran's Blade, I feel. And in the flip side, in the top lane for his team, there's another Doran's Blade from Monster on the Gnar. And I think that the Doran's Blade there is actually pretty good, because he can try to bully out Bricken as long as he's not getting, really bad trades. He can outrange and kite out that Renekton.
And we see on the other side of the coin, Team Doran Shield here, picking the very strong Doran Shield. Of course, nerfed to cost 450 instead of 400, so you can't get it with 2 pots now. But still super strong at mitigating that poke and that harass, as well as giving the ability to help with last hits. And it's something you're starting to see 80 carries take more, as evidenced by the Ashe taking it in lane.
Yeah,
I think kind of expected Kog'Maw to take it as well.
That's what I was thinking. And so, looking at, he's against a Lulu Ashe. There's so much poke damage in that lane. It's a little confusing, as we see Parental Advisory reconnecting into the game. I think that we might unpause in a little bit.
I think we should be getting an unpause here shortly.
Yeah. With that,
we again see LeBlanc with the Ignite, which makes sense when you're going against a Vladimir, because that Grievous Wounds is really strong. This is healing, and also still relevant against like Renekton and Nunu as well.
Oh, I thought I heard it unpause.
Vladimir with Ignite as well, instead of a teleport that you typically see.
Yeah. Taking the Storm Raiders, which is really... Oh, unpause coming out. Here we go. Okay. So, Vladimir with the Storm Raiders, going for that more late game, kind of all-in, stick to people.
Even not even necessarily in the late game, I think even in the mid game.
Gives them mobility to escape in trades, right?
Yeah, if you're skirmishing around in the river, it just gives you a lot of utility. I think it's the only keystone that gives you utility, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, I mean, there's...
Everything else just gives stats, right?
Warrior's Bloodlust gives move speed. Yeah.
Yeah, Bloodlust gives a little bit of move speed, so I guess that's kind of utility. But it's not on the same level as Storm Raiders. But either way, it's just really strong for some of those small skirmishes and team fighting. Just being able to vroom around, stick to people, make sure you can get that empowered Crimson Rush Q.
Yeah, definitely. We see both junglers starting with their Hunter machetes. Nunu looking to slap some camps. That is probably what he starts, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's pretty standard for Nunu.
Yeah, he'll probably running attack speed as well. I've seen some Nunus take Ghost. I think it's so cheesy, and I hate it, and I think it's garbage.
I think Flash is significantly better.
It is, but I've seen Nunus take Ghost.
The ability to like flash consume something is just super strong because not only is it tilting, but I mean obviously the ability to steal buffs or neutral objectives away is super strong.
Yeah,
So
there's this
okay.
one Nunu player in Diamond who like goes like Iceborne Gauntlet and with Ghost and like I forget what else. And there's a lot of trading in the bot lane actually. Athena getting so low, and then he just slaps stuff.
I was
That's
gonna say we
Nunu.
saw Lee Sin starting on the top side. I don't know if it's because he specifically wants to spill out on the bottom side of the map to either gank the bottom lane or mid, or if he's simply doing that to prevent potential Nunu cheese, as a lot of Nunus will do a vertical jungle from the top side, so like starting in his blue and then going to pick Lee's red. So it could have just been a
Oh,
consideration
Athena
there.
getting really low again. Oh, Athena. Heal used by Habibi Poppy as well as the ignite from type 2 diabetic or diabetes. I called him a diabetic. I'm horrible. um, but a lot of
Really
action
recall
in
from
the bot lane.
Athena.
Now,
Are they going to be able to punish a BB Poppy
yeah,
here?
are they gonna try to dive with Parental? I mean, is this even good? Because they're really playing aggressive in this bot lane.
I'm surprised
Rip.
that Lee's going for this scuttle as opposed to trying to get this 3v1 on Habibi, punishing him while supports out of the lane.
Could they? That's really risky though, because yes, they could try that, but then Habibi does have flash, so it looks like he's just gonna go for the mid lane fight here. As Bonsai already used the pull, not dodging the I can't remember
Imperial
it. The
Chain?
Q from the Q from
Oh.
Lee Sin.
Oh, yeah.
I can't.
So
Let me
he
think.
did
Just
that- Sonic Wave?
Sonic Wave.
Resounding
Yes,
Wave?
it's Sonic Wave, and then something
Resounding
kicked in the
Strike?
face. I don't remember the second part, but Sonic Wave is the Q.
I don't know the names.
Yeah.
Twitch chat's probably laughing at us being boosted X for not knowing the names of these abilities.
Hey, I'm a color caster, not
Same.
play-by-play. Not my
Obviously.
job. Not my
We
Lee
see
Sin.
Lee Sin counter jungling here. Of course, Nunu taking the entire top side of Lee. I don't think Lee's going to get the Krugs in return, though. So Nunu is going to be a camp up on him.
Yeah. As everything is kind of slowing down, Sabin has 22 jungle monsters compared to Parental Advisory's 11. He
And
took
that's
a little bit of a
solely
weird
just
path.
due to the 10 in Krugs. Like the 12 versus the 22 is you get 10 from taking the Krugs from all the small ones. And it looks like Lee Sin is actually going to be taking the Krugs here as well. So
Yeah.
we'll see him catch back up in the CS count. So those and the Raptors can really inflate some of the jungle CS numbers.
Although, I'm looking at the gold amount. Yeah, it's pretty even.
I think
As
Nunu got a
there's-
scuttle, whereas
hold on,
Lee
there
Sin's
is some
left.
action going on though. As Habibi Poppy is really low in this bot lane. Alpha as fuck gets exhausted. Athena, I can't say Athena anymore. Just disengage
Really
fight.
good Karma
I-
disengage again.
Too much action for me. The last game tore me apart. I'm a dead man now. But
So really good, like I said, really good disengage with Karma to speed everyone up and shield and just saying no, you're not ganking this. But we do see Nunu going for this dragon, which is what Nunus do. There's no vision on it. And Lee Sin is too low to contest, so he's just going to be basing. So this should just be Nunu's dragon for free.
yeah.
Mountain, not the best one to get early. Actually, probably the worst one.
Well, Mountain Drake is still a very strong Drake. I don't.
It's a very strong Drake in general, and it will scale as the game goes along.
Yeah.
But if you do want one at 5 minutes and 41 seconds, you either want Infernal or Cloud, usually. Or not Cloud,
Ocean.
The one
Ocean
that gives
is
mana
good early
generally.
game. The only time
Yes.
Ocean Drake is good is early game, and so as that dragon is taken, the next one will be Infernal. So these scaling dragons coming up big. The way the dragons work really is it's mostly Infernal and Mountain are kind of like good throughout all phases of the game. Mountain is better later on than early. Infernal kind of helps throughout all phases of the game. But Ocean Drake is really good early on. It gives that laning sustain, which kind of makes or breaks lanes sometimes, as well as
Cloud
just
is
helping.
pretty medium in like the mid.
Yeah,
of the
Cloud
game
is
for rotations.
Kind of just mediocre. It's really the weakest Drake, and it's fine like that. It's an objective that's very weak, and you can play around it accordingly, right? It doesn't have. Not every Drake has to have the same agency, unless Riot wants that. But then Riot needs to do that and not leave Cloud Drake as like Clown Drake.
We see Lee looking for a gank up here in the top freaking senses it and backs off. I mean,
Yeah,
obviously you
there's
got
a
the ward
ward
up there
there.
to see it,
Yeah.
but I think he backed off before we came into the ward site, so they might have had some other indication.
Yeah. And so this game is very slow compared to the last one, actually. No kills so far, as the solo laners are just getting level 6. Maybe
We
not
do
the
see
same amount of kill
Gnar.
pressure.
Gnar has that expected lead over Renekton, just bullying him out to the tune of about 20 CS right now. I'm be kind of surprised if Bricken does back here, because I think Gnar can actually shove him in with this wave and a half, almost 2 full waves. But I guess he can just teleport back in.
Yeah, and so these junglers are actually kind of going crazy in each other's jungles. I mean, we've been seeing them walking in and out. They both have the Tracker's Knife as well as their warding totem still. So they're just setting up vision like crazy for their team. Everyone knows where everyone is, and there's this jungle battle of vision and camps going on right now. And Sabin going into Parental's jungle now, maybe gonna get an
So it
extra
looks like
buff.
Bricken did only lose the cannon and a melee creep for that without having to bring teleport. So pretty strong, not having to use teleport there. Nunu continuing to be obnoxious and counter.
Yeah, so now it looks like Sabin wants to do the blue buff, but Parental is right there, and Parental doesn't know that the dragon is right there, or the blue buff is right there. He thinks it's gone already. No. Oh, it's sad. If he would have checked it with a what the mid lane. Do I just want to rewind it?
Yeah, I'm gonna rewind and look at that as well.
It looks like there's nothing else happening, so I'm just gonna rewind really fast. Oh my god, it looks like Brigand is about to die. I'm watching that. Zeta, dead. Okay, dies to ignite. Good. We fast forward now. Okay, we figured out what happened. Blue buff was taking priority over Zeta dying.
Yeah, it looks like he just he got a little too close. Vlad traded him out and dropped.
Nice damage knowledge by Bonsai. Really knowing like exactly how much his ulti and ignite would do. Maybe he didn't know. Maybe he was just like, this might work. Let's go for it. But
I'll
it worked.
I'll give him the doubt. I'll give him the credit.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with the assumption that he knew. And obviously you like, you can just say everything is just luck. But I'm pretty sure that Bonsai knew his damage potential there. So
looks like Lee might be looking for something down bottom. Obviously, having cleared that pink ward, the bottom lane has a pretty good idea if you could be coming down that way with the dark lane up until you get to that brush. So now they know because the Spires bloom.
Remember how I was talking about how this Gnar is oppressive, like the new AD Kennen? Look at the CS difference and this gold difference in the top lane. 500 gold already.
Him.
Yeah. And Renekton didn't even get to spend 300 of it. He had to back
He's got that Jarm's Fist to go into the Frozen Mallet already, and it's already stacked, so...
Yeah, this Gnar is going to become very strong very quickly. And I mentioned, this lane is going to be very sad for Bricken. It's just so hard to deal with a ranged matchup as a melee top laner. Especially the Gnar, who can kite so well. He does have less range than Kennen, I believe, right? Kennen has like a very long base auto attack range.
I think it's like 25 or 50 range shorter.
I think it's like 50 because mini Gnar is pretty short. It's like 450, isn't it not? Might be like 500. But
so looks like Vladimir.
oh, there's a fight in the bot lane though as type 2 diabetes gets chunked out. A lot of trading. Enchanted Crystal Arrow is up though. Alpha as fuck trying to frontline. Looks like that might be it.
I don't know about that Kog'Maw walking forward there. That was a little drastic.
Oh, as Sabin playing aggressively against Parental Advisory, dropping the ultimate, slowing him down, getting some damage, flashing the ethereal chains from the LeBlanc. So that will be that. The dragon kick used by the Parental Advisory, as Sabin uses the what is it called? Something zone. Absolute Zero.
Absolute Zero, yeah. It's one of the only ways Lee has to, or the only way in his kit to cancel the Absolute Zero. Obviously, he can just like ward hop out of it if he's got that available to him. But
hey, ward hop into flash. Think about it.
It's a good way to stop the channel, obviously, before it gets to the absurd damage from the full channel.
Yeah. Now, something important about Nunu after his mini reworky stuff that they did with his passive and whatnot is that you definitely want to like make sure that you get his passive up when you ulti, so you get a full rank up on your ultimate. Because the way it works is Nunu gets an extra level into any ability when he has his passive up, when it consumes his passive. So
And when you talk about his passive, you mean when he attacks 5 times, his next ability is empowered. So
yes, his next ability is costs no mana and is empowered. As Monster goes in here, both these people are pretty tanky. It doesn't look like there will be a kill. So yeah, this Nunu, if he gets the 5 autos on something beforehand, he can just use like at rank 11 he can get a rank 16 ulti. At rank 16 he can get a rank past 16 ulti, a Super Saiyan Nunu ultimate, if you will. It does add a lot of extra damage to his Nunu if he can use that his passive properly.
I'm a little surprised that the Lee Sin has been keeping up in farm with how obnoxious of counter jungling and everything like that. He's down like 200 gold, but keeping relatively even in terms of CS numbers. So.
Yeah, and really,
he's slightly behind in XP.
If we look at the teams, there isn't kind of this, one team that scales much better than the other, because you have a LeBlanc and a Kog'Maw who scale pretty well, right? Karma scales pretty decently too. But if you look at the other side, you have Vladimir who scales great, and then there's an Engage coming down, absolute zero, not even getting the damage off, just barely slowing. Athena trying to get away, but still gets rooted down by the Karma. Parental Advisory going in, getting very low, gets knocked up and taken out. Habibi Poppy picking up a kill. Now Monster looking to do something in topside, doing a lot of damage to Bricken, but looks like it's just going to be a simple trade. Dominus was used, as well as the Nar where he throws him into the wall.
He got a good kickoff to displace Ashe and knock up the Nunu, but was not enough as he was a little too deep there. So he ends up going down. They weren't able to capitalize on Athena despite having a fair amount of damage and CC on her. We have to teleport behind here.
Oh, BB Poppy getting really low as Bricken teleports in, going onto Alpha as fuck, but not having enough damage as Zeta is autoing down Bricken, gets the last auto attack, and that's a kill going over to Zeta. So now he actually has.
I agree with that teleport. He was so low when he came in and tried to 1v2 at like, 40%
Oh, Sabin
speed.
now stuck in a pit with Alpha as fuck, walks around sadly and dies.
Yeah, and Monster is just gonna get free reign on this top turret here. For that teleport play, so yeah, I don't know if I agree with the Renekton teleporting there at like 40% HP in the back of that fight.
Yeah, he was really low. Didn't have the Dominus either because he just used it in that fight with Gnar. Gnar looks like he TP'd top lane immediately after that fight, and has just been shoving it out constantly. And this top tower is almost dead. If we look at it up there. It is. Yep. Oh, where is it? It
should be first blood turret. Meanwhile, Lee Sin stealing away Nunu's red buff since Nunu just died in the pit after taking the Infernal Drake.
That is first blood tower, so that's a decent amount going over now. Dragon for tower basically is what just happened. Oh,
that was a really good flash.
Yeah.
He was getting Dragon's Rage into death.
I think he flashed before the Dragon's Rage came out, didn't it? Oh my god! Chance of Crystal Arrow out of nowhere. Oh, not gonna do much though.
Yeah, if he did not flash there, he 100% would have gotten Dragon Rage back into LeBlanc's side. Yeah, so there was a really good flash as soon as the pool ended.
Yeah, so, I mean, Enchanted Crystal Arrow there, kind of wasted in a sense. He could keep it for this Kog'Maw here and kind of bully him out, maybe even.
Yeah, I think if you're taking the Ashe there over the Jhin or over the Tristan that we were talking about, you take it for the threat of that engage from range, right? So without that, the Kog'Maw has a little bit of free reign in this lane.
Yeah, which will allow him to kind of just scale up and just smite it away. Disgusting. Nunu has Consume. How does that... I guess he didn't expect it and already used it.
Yeah, I didn't see that, but you should not get anything smite stolen unless Consume is on cooldown, which maybe it was.
Yeah, maybe, yeah, I'm going to go with the assumption it was, in which case Sabin still did have Smite, so he could have secured it with a Smite. Kind of just not expecting Parental Advisory there and not reacting in time.
Yeah, that does happen sometimes.
Yeah,
it's
understandable.
Looking for Monster here. Is he gonna wrap around?
Yeah. Blast cones over. Behind Monster, Sabin gets the slow. Gonna start smacking him down. There's a lot of fighting in the bot lane too, though. Type 2 Diabetes does get taken down by Habibi Poppy. Now back to the top lane. Monster flashing. Absolute Zero still connects, but for very little damage. The Frozen Mallet is able to slow down some targets, but not enough as Bricken picks up a kill against Monster. And now Bonsai is actually really low. And that's not the right LeBlanc. Ugh. That might be enough to turn this top lane around, though. Oh, Bonsai does not have the pull anymore. Gets Dragon's Rage into the Sonic Wave.
Really well played by Lee Sin.
Prenzel is really low, but yeah, he's not gonna. Oh, minions! No, don't. Okay, don't play with my heart like that.
Again, for those of you watching at home or at school or on the bus or wherever you may be watching, come back and watch that. Sin instead of just coming straight into the lane and throwing out a Q, he ward hops over the wall, walks into range of the Vladimir that doesn't have the flash.
And just Dragon Rages for the guaranteed Q. It was great,
Kicks against the wall, guarantees the Q. That's how you use his kit properly to set up a kill. If you lead with the Q and you miss, that's 100% a failed game. Like, the Vlad's gonna live. So, really well played by him, just understanding how Lee Sin's kit works and not wasting his gap close in that regard. So.
Yeah. Sabin is running down here. Zeta right behind him, though. And Parental Advisor backing up Zeta. This might be some mayhem happening here. Sonic Wave does connect, but not going for the second part of that.
Does not have Lee Syndrome. I agree with not taking that.
His mind's telling him no, and his body also told him no. No, his body's... Yeah,
maybe his body has ways of shutting that kind of thing down. Maybe it's legit.
Oh, my damage. Athena going out, getting taken down by the arcane or the barrage from Kog'Maw. Sabin popping the absolute zero, but not getting anything really from it. And it is called Living Artillery. Get my barrages and artillery.
Nunu was coming in to try to get just a zoning ultimate, but there, so he wasn't able to really do anything with that. So
yeah. Now Bonsai stayed in mid lane, didn't follow the roam up. Does get a tower. So in response, yes, you get a tower, but you lose a few kills for it, so it's not really worth it. Now, if Bonsai goes up here and punishes Monster again for overextending, maybe it might be a little more worth it. Although, Bricken is going in a little early, getting very low, popping the Dominus, living through, healing off of that Q. Monster jumps the wall into Bonsai, and now it's going to be Monster's great escape. Can he do it? Blast Cone is not there, and he's getting taken out and does not have Flash. That is a kill secured for Bricken.
So the scoreboard is even at 5-5, but there is a slight gold lead for Rip Acvius. However, there is a Dragon advantage and potentially a Rift Herald advantage here for Team ZP Fan Club.
Yeah, and oh my gosh, Athena's gone. Burned Flash too.
So bad.
This game is devolving very quickly.
Yeah, I don't want to say it's a fiesta, but it's definitely getting bloodthirsty. That's just...
Last game was a little more how would you call it, calculated?
Yeah.
A little more.
Now some of those calculations might have been miscalculations.
Yes, but they were calculations. Right here is just I walk up, I kill.
Lee gets the red and gets out, and it looks like they're not going to set this Mountain Drake. I thought for sure with 3 and the control wards that had all around it, they were going to try this, but they may just fear the Nunu, who can outsmite / consume objectives.
Yeah, as Sabin is getting collapsed on a little bit, not getting the second part of that passive.
He's a Nunu, so like they literally took what, 50 damage? No, 150 damage off his HP bar. So the damage is pickled.
Yeah, Sabin walking up, trying to pressure them off, and looking for that Earthstrike. Is he going to start it off? It has not been started yet. Although Bonsai is in a good position to follow up with the Hemo Plague. Maybe could get collapsed on though. But he's flanking them. They're kind of pincered in here. And he's flashing onto Zeta, but did not use the Hemo Plague at the start. And now he's getting taken out by Monster. Oh no, you gotta use the no! Oh, Dragon's Rage hits Bricken into Athena. Athena does not get taken out, but Alpha as fuck is going to kill some people as Zeta takes
Zeta
another one
on
out.
The backside. Just gonna clean up this fight, I think.
Zeta really low on health and mana, but Alpha as fuck there to clean it up. Athena will back in a bush, but that is 4 for none. As Bonsai, that was I don't know. I think Bonsai misplayed that a lot there. I think that's really what lost that fight. The Hemo Plague on 3 people there maybe would have been enough, or if he killed the LeBlanc, using the Hemo Plague on her.
I also disagree with them starting the dragon. Like, obviously, we
Yeah.
were talking about Rip Acvius having the potential to start the dragon, but they wanted to for fear of Nunu. But they still had the numbers there. Like, it's not like they didn't do it because they didn't have people. So as soon as ZP Fan Club started that up, they were able to kind of collapse on that with their full team. So a little aggressive, maybe not. Maybe overvaluing Nunu's objective control. Hard to say there.
Yeah. We are 225 seconds, or 22 minutes and 30 seconds into this game, not 225. I'm inting my promos yet again. But 22 and a half minutes in, past the 20-minute mark, we see some giant CS leads in the top side for that Gnar. Obviously expected, right? But they did a good job of punishing Monster when he was overextending. And it's kept Bricken in this game. He now has 2 kills.
Yeah, this game would be a lot different if we were looking like a 3-0 Gnar right now.
Yeah.
'Cause once an R gets that lead with that frozen mallet and that cleaver, like you're just not getting away from him, and he's just destroying you. It just feels so bad. Looks like the Rift Herald is popped down here in the bottom lane. I don't think it's going to be taking down this turret, but they are going to get some damage down.
Enchanted Crystal Arrow missing. Parental Advisory getting really low as Sabin and Bonsai are in between 2 turrets of the enemy team. Zeta getting taken low by the Bricken, but Bricken is really low. Ignite used on him. He's going to just walk away. Sabin might not be able to do the same, though, as Athena gets slammed and taken out again. Now Bricken goes in to try to get a kill, but does not get Zeta. And right there, Habibi
really
Poppy
clean
gets taken out too, as this game has just swung completely in favor of Rip Acvius.
Yeah, it looked like ZP Fan Club wasn't sure if they wanted to fight or take the turret, because like Bricken jumped in, he was tanking it, and then it looked like Habibi Poppy shot the turret a couple times because he's gonna try to kill that to keep it from damaging Bricken, and then like he turned to the fight. It just looked like they were a little indecisive there, and Rip Acvius definitely able to clean up on the back end. Kog'Maw with that insane range and that living artillery, backed up by all the CC and engage from W and the Karma.
I want to say Athena dying at the start of that is... Lulu shouldn't be this far up and dying so much, really. I mean, you know, if Athena's dying while warding, Athena needs to make sure that he has people with him to ward. As Parental Advisory gets taken really low, Hemoplague is dropped with the Ignite. That might be... No, it is not enough, as Parental Advisor lives with sub 100 HP.
That feels really bad, because you had the Absolute Zero on him, and he...
Yeah, if that Absolute Zero hit him, I think that would have been enough, right?
100%.
That would have broken through the Karma Shield, more Ignite
yeah.
damage as well. Yeah. That's an unlucky, a feels bad, as they would say.
That's a feels bad, man.
I mean, if Habibi Poppy had the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, maybe we could have seen a snipe from downtown. But
looks like LeBlanc's getting caught
Zeta
out.
getting not sniped as Enchanted Crystal Arrow misses.
That hitbox, though, that was so close. Because the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, it procs off of the tail end of the arrow in terms of like when it calculates the hitbox, and it just barely missed the LeBlanc.
Now, I want to really just mention, this Ashe was picked for the reason of Enchanted Crystal Arrow. She has only 2 kills and no assists, and not been really hitting any of them, as Bonsai is forced to pop the pool and has to use Flash now. So back to my point, Habibi Poppy picking the Ashe. I think Tristana could have been used here, because look, you have a Nunu and a Lulu. You have steroids up the wazoo. You build damage, you get a GA, and you are an unkillable cannon. And now look at this Ashe. She's having so little impact right now. Can't really do much at all.
And this Kog'Maw is just popping off. And it's not even, like we said, it's not even really a protect the Cog comp. You've got Karma, but it's just... They're so far ahead that it's a just win comp. And Kog'Maw, when you can't get to his back line because there's too much damage from their front line, is just going to shred you.
Yeah, so... looking pretty grim for ZP Fan Club. They were in the lead game 1 and lost it in the late game. Maybe they can do the same to Rip Acvius? Potentially? I mean, it's pretty unlikely against a Kog'Maw and a LeBlanc, but
Yeah,
Maybe
with
they
both of
can.
those two champions being super fed, it's because like we said, those are the two that are going to scale the hardest on the team, and you're going to have that front line.
Yeah, and the gold
Gnar.
is all funneled onto them, too. That's exactly where they want to. I mean, look at the gold graphs. Kog'Maw, 11,500 to Ash's 8,000.
I
That is
think
a full item, a
I
complete
think they're going to
item.
need some throws to come back in this. Obviously, they're going to need
Like,
to play smart and take advantage of those mistakes, but I think they're going to need some mistakes from
yeah, I
Rebecca
mean,
to come
if
back.
you look at the item builds, Alpha as fuck has the same amount of items except a complete Guinsoo's Gunblade or Rage Blade, like
Yeah,
a full
that
Rage
item is
Blade.
not cheap. That is not a cheap item.
That's crazy. He has the cheaper of the two, and then the most expensive one. Like what? Oh my gosh, this is a scary Kog'Maw, very scary Kog'Maw to say the least.
He's also a reindeer Kog'Maw. That's got to add to the fear factor a little bit, right?
He can be singing some Christmas carols, striking fear into his foes.
And he's just going to melt this dragon here.
I personally prefer the lion dance. I really like the ulti sound and the fireworks. It's pretty
Yeah.
satisfying, but Monarch is pretty cool too because the little fluttery thing he does every once in a while.
The fireworks are pretty good.
Yeah, I like that. Also, Battlecast. I mean, Battlecast is 1820 though. I have it, and I think I got it from a mystery box.
Looks like they're rushing for the Baron here, which, again, they melt the neutral objectives with the double mountain,
Yeah.
the Gnar passive, the W on Kog'Maw, and the board.
Yeah, not to mention Kog'Maw.
Yeah.
Kog'Maw. With the W, the percent health damage, which is
Yeah.
capped against monsters, but does have, you
The
know,
W on Kog'Maw and the Bork, along with the Gnar passive,
Yeah, that's
and the double mountain are just
crazy. Plus, don't even forget the Ardent to add on top of it with all the auto attacking they have.
Yep.
And I mean, I really like the Karma with the Ardent in this composition because they have two people who auto attack a lot, the Gnar and the Kog'Maw, right? And
Wait,
it seems like
have-
Gnar would preferably be Mega, but yeah, like
Once you have multiple auto attackers, Ardent gets really good, especially if you can shield multiple people at once, like with a Locket or the Mantra shield from Karma.
even
So,
Redemption helps with that too. But
Yeah.
oh, Enchanted Crystal Arrow connects onto Zeta, but nothing will come of that. And again, Enchanted Crystal Arrow not having much impact. Sabin having to pop the Locket to save himself, as there's a
Nothing
flank
you
by
can do.
Monster, who's looking for a monstrous Gnar ulti, gets a
Ooh.
2-man, and gets the, again, Athena. But will that be the end of it? There is actually a re-engage. This might be the fight that ZP Fan Club is looking for, except Bonsai is going to die to that Ignite. Bricken getting taken out really low too. And that will be another kill going over. And that is not what they wanted at all, as Habibi Poppy goes down. And then Sabin too, to a parental advisory, as Zeta dies, taking the turret aggro.
Parental advisory has looked super clean on Lee Sin in this game, whether it's ward hopping or flash kicking, or in that case, kicking the Nunu out of the ult and then immediately Q.
Yeah, that's one inhibitor going down. Are they trying to end? 20 seconds on any carries.
I don't
Only
think they-
Lulu is up.
Maybe they can. They have Kog'Maw.
They have a
so
Kog'Maw. There is a Lulu, but if they can zone her off,
at the
they
very least,
might
can
be
both
able
these
to do
Nexus
this. And this might be game 2 going over to rip Acvius. Lulu trying as much as she can. But it looks like this is it as Lulu falls.
Game over,
Game
boys.
2 goes to rip Acvius and turns it around for the 2-0 against CP Fan Club.
Rip Acvius are our champions.
You just hear Nar in the background chanting. Yeah, and that Nar reaction pretty much sums up that game. I mean, I was expecting, you know, a really close game 2 after that game 1, but it was so dominant from Rip Acvius.
They had a very impressive showing that game. Maybe they just needed a little bit to warm up in that first game. Although again, we were talking about ZP Fan Club did have the early game composition there and played that well. And Rip Acvius just this game start to finish kind of were in control. Like we said, even when the score was even, they had that gold lead. So
Yeah, and with that pretty much ends this series. I mean, it's done. That's game. So we have our Learning Fives champions for the gold above bracket, which will be Rip Acvius. They will get their shiny little flares in the Discord. And Uh, we also have the bronze silver bracket as well, which is actually being played right now, I believe. It will be rebroadcast at a different time, so sadly not live. So hopefully not too many spoilers for that one, unless there is plans to stream right now. I don't think we are doing that. Bronze silver got pushed back. Okay, so it will be cast live actually. Oh, tonight. Okay, so it's gonna be tonight actually, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So everyone come back in like 50 minutes, and we'll have a game for you to watch. Do we want to give an interview to the winning team? We've done that once. Can we get the okay from Stealth to do that? Talks.
I would be interested in asking a couple questions if we did get to the interview.
We did not get it approved. Interview
I'm
requests have been denied. So, sorry to the victorious team, but you guys still come out the winners. Feel good about that. And stick around, guys, because in about 50 minutes, we're going to be back with our second finals for NA with the lower division teams, which should be interesting to say the least. They're definitely fun to watch. I'll say that. It's the best of the worst, you know? But I mean, no, they normally have really good communication in macro. It's really fun to see. So come back in 50 minutes, guys. I've been Lol Meowing Cat, joined by Xline. I hope you all had a great time. I'm sure we did.
Good evening, guys. It's good to be with you.
Yep. Hopefully see you guys soon. Actually tonight, in like 50 minutes. Whoever's casting that.